Okay, in this exercise, we're going to be strengthening the lower body and balancing the musculature of the lower body to provide support for the trunk area. So if you've got lower back pain, this can be a great exercise to build the support for the area that's under a lot of strain. And that's what you want to do. When you have lower back pain, obviously this area doesn't have enough support. It's lacking in stability, and the back's trying to make up for it. It's moving around too much. So you've got to form that stability in the lower part of the body, in the legs and the pelvis and the buttocks, so that the lower torso will be well supported, and then you will diminish in pain. Also, this exercise will help to open up the chest and the lengthen the upper spine, the thoracic curve out of it, which tends to ratchet down and get a little bit too tight, and then consequently causing a little bit more instability in the lower spine. So what you'll need for this is a sticky mat. Okay, buy a sticky mat if you don't have one. You can go to my website, you can go to Walmart or various places to buy them. They're pretty ubiquitous now. You can get them almost anywhere. But whatever you do, buy a sticky mat that's actually sticky, something that's going to provide you traction, because the traction is critical. If you don't have it, some of these expensive mats that you buy, they've got fancy logos and graphics on them and stuff, but they're slippery. And I watch people slide around on these mats all the time. It's really pointless. They look great, but they don't work very well. So the point of doing this stuff is to change your body. And when you're changing your body, you're thinking in a very utilitarian way. You're not worried about what it looks like, and you're not worried about the fashion part of this. You can do this in your house where nobody can see you. So do it so that it works the best. And that's why I'm suggesting you buy a sticky mat rather than a slippery mat. Okay, that said, the hand position. So the hands are going to be splayed as wide as you can splay them. Okay, and they'll be at the position will be roughly at below the pectoral muscle, or where the for women just below the breast. Okay, and they're going to be out to the side here, fingers pointing in the direction of the body. So center finger pointing in the direction of the body. Often I'll see people's hands like this, or not very well spread. Spread them as wide as you can. You need a wide base of support for your body. Okay, and then you want this finger facing forward, that middle finger facing forward. All right. And wear a comfortable shorts. You don't want to buckle in the front or something like that that's going to get in the way, because you're going to be pressing your pelvis into the floor. And that's where you're going to derive the support for the base of this pose from. All right? So I start with my face down. I'm going to take my glasses off for this. I have my forehead on the floor. I'm going to take my hands down where I asked you before, so the thumbs are going to be just below the pectoral muscle there. Middle finger's pointing straight forward. Elbows vertical. And I'm going to come down onto the tops of my feet here. Okay? Now, what's important is that I keep my feet, the tops of my feet, facing the floor, and that they're not going in or out or curling or any of that, but I'm kind of stretching with my big toe. Okay, now I'm going to engage my quadriceps. I'm going to push my buttocks into the floor. And my buttocks, they're not going to push into the floor with the top of my pelvis, but with the tailbone. So the tailbone really pushes into the floor. This is the base of my support. It's critical that you do this. So the legs are coming out and away from the base of the support, but the base of support is the pelvis, and I push it into the floor strongly. And I keep pushing it into the floor and pushing it into the floor and pushing it into the floor until I can start to extend my spine out and away from my buttocks, from my pelvis. And if my lower back starts to hurt here, I have to turn my tail under even more and squeeze my buttocks even more and push them into the floor even more. Now my legs may want to round out here, but I got to make sure that they don't. So push that buttocks in, and you'll notice I'm starting to arc. My spine is starting to lengthen as I push into the floor more and more. I'm not pushing them with my hands right now. It's just the pushing in with my pelvis into the floor. Okay, keep doing it harder and harder and harder. Now I start to help myself out with my hands a little bit. Okay? My lower back is protected because my buttocks are working hard. They're working really, really hard. And if they start to get loose, my lower back starts hurting, I take my tailbone towards my heels and I work my buttocks even harder. My legs are extending out from my pelvis. They're working pretty hard. And my chest is opening. And then I just come back down and rest. This is a great exercise to provide support and stability for your lower back, your core musculature, and the whole trunk of the body.